O'clock in the morning in my favourite piece of woodland. Whoa, big tree there, and there we go, young Yaffle. Well, as you saw, just panned round. It's a little bit later now. I've been having a potter. Got my breakfast on the go. I'm having a go at doing some backwoods dumpling type thing rather than doing a bannock today. Sort of use the bannock mix, but drop it in some boiling water, which is almost there. So drop these in now, and then hope for the best. I'm either going to end up with a complete mushy mess, which I'm going to have to bin, or a type of dumpling. I'm using a honey stove with a mess burner today. Just been having some thoughts over the past week about the use of the campfire and what have you in the backwoods, and whether on a general sort of overnight type camp is actually necessary. And I shall come back to you in a little while on that one. Well, not the most successful dumplings I've ever made, but for a first attempt in the backwoods, I suppose it's not too bad. I'm just going to try these out and see what they're like. Actually, not too bad. Might not have come out dumpling like, but I think with a little bit of practice and a little bit of what have you, I might get this about right. This is quite a heavy mixture, by the way. It's got rye flour in it, so it's going to be a little bit on the heavy side anyway, but a good filler. Right, I made mention just now about campfires, and I've just been having a think. I went away for a week on this campcraft course, and basically we had a campfire every day, and it was great. We had the main one that was in the underneath the parachute, and then we had our own personal ones. The campfires we had the spitting fire fairy in. We was using sweet chestnut, which really done our spit, but I digress. Talking to one of the guys on one of the instructors on the course, and it was made mention in general about bushcrafting in Sweden, because the guy happens to come from Sweden. They're thinking of actually rescinding their law on the right to roam in the Swedish government, partly due to, from what I can gather, foreign bushcrafters, people from this country, say, or wherever, going into Sweden and actually denuding the birches of bark, which is not a good thing. But birch dies, and you're left without birch sap. You're left without a very nice tree. They're actually destroying the environment to some extent, particularly on the major walking routes. And anyway, as I was saying, is there really a need for a campfire when you're out? You have to ask yourself this question. The campfire is a very psychological thing. It gives you comfort, but do you actually need it? Can you get by with a small camp stove, say a honey stove with a mess burner, or just using the wood fire function of it? A small wood fire stove, to my mind, is okay, but actually building the campfire, not only are you using up a valuable resource which is all around you, because the more, if you tend to use a place regularly, you will use up all that resource. It does actually scar the ground. No matter how much no trace we're doing, underneath that no trace, we've actually scarred the ground, we've sterilised the ground, and something may or may not grow there again for a long, long while. My preference now is to, wherever possible, use my honey stove or my Heineken wood burning stove. Both perform very well. I've got to experiment to try and see if I can do my bannock upon them. I'm having trouble doing that, but anyway, as I say, a little bit more on that in a minute. Well, as I was saying, just now, the politics around campfire will grow. In this country, unless you get express permission, you cannot build a campfire. Though many people do. Some leave scars on the landscape, and others, like myself and many other aware bushcrafters, don't leave scars on the landscape. But as I've previously mentioned, ask yourself each time, do you really need to build your campfire? Psychologically, yes, we do need one, but in reality we can get by with a reasonably good cooking stove. As I say, I favour the honey stove because it's quiet. I've listened to other stoves. There are a lot of people with their whisper lights and that sound like rockets taking off. I like quietness, and it cooks well. Yeah, just need to experiment a bit more. Items to take with you, take 2. I've seen a few videos where people have been given the tag of what 3 items they would like to have with them or take with them if they was to be on a desert type island, providing there was enough vegetation and animal food kicking around, you know, animals, land mammals, sea, insects and what have you, and reptiles to eat. Providing, it's a bit of a loaded question this. Now, assuming that I've already got my Laplander saw and my Mora clipper, or my Mora 510, I suppose the 3 items that I would like to have with me would be a large billy can, so I could boil my water, make a brew. My hammock, so I'm off the ground, and well, I don't know, what would be the third item? I suppose my first aid kit, because you're bound to cut yourself. But it's such a loaded question. What 3 items would we take? I suppose in reality, you know, apart from the items I've mentioned, I would like to take my carving jack, which is my Swiss Army knife of carving. That way I can at least carve a few utensils, start setting the camp up. But there are many other things. I think the most useful tool anyone could ever have would be either a small or large forest axe, the Swedish style one made by Grandpa's Brooks. Very good piece of kit, wonderful. But as I say, I've digressed, and I would assume that the 3 pieces of kit I would have me if I was stripped down with nothing. I'm standing on the island, I've got 3 wishes of 3 pieces of kit. It would be a knife, a folding saw and a billy can. With those 3 things I could live quite comfortably. With the knife and the saw I could make myself a bow draw set, thus I will get fire. With the billy can I could boil my water to make it safe. And if you really strip it down, all you need is an axe and a billy can, because with the axe you can perform the felling of a tree, the carving of your bow draw set, and the billy can will obviously do the water. Well, there goes the wonder hound looking for little insects. He has a habit of eating mosquitoes. There you go, another one bites the dust. We do actually feed him, I can assure you, we do actually feed him. This is him gathering his own wild food, I suppose. The bushcraft doggy.